Have you ever noticed that certain foods just don't sit as well as they used to? Maybe a simple meal leaves you feeling bloated, sluggish, or just off. Or maybe you had a stretch where you felt unusually tired, foggy, or even a little down, and couldn't quite put your finger on why. You're not alone. And believe it or not, a lot of it comes down to something we rarely think about: the health of our gut. Now I know, talking about gut health might not sound exciting at first. But here's something that might surprise you. Scientists are now discovering that your gut, yes, the one that digests your meals, isn't just in charge of your stomach. It actually plays a powerful role in how long you live, how well you age, and even how sharp and happy you feel day to day. After 60, our gut health becomes even more important. That's because as we age, the balance of bacteria in our digestive system starts to shift. Some of the good bugs, the ones that support digestion, fight inflammation, and even protect our brain, start to fade. Meanwhile, the not-so-friendly ones can take over if we're not careful. And when that balance is off, it can trigger a whole domino effect in the body, leading to everything from low energy and poor sleep to serious issues like heart disease, memory loss, and yes, even a shorter lifespan. But here's the good news. You can change it. And you don't need expensive supplements or a strict diet to do it. In fact, there are 5 simple habits, easy things you can do every day that can help your gut thrive again. And when your gut is happy, your whole body follows. Let's start with one of the most underrated but powerful habits of all: eating more fiber-rich foods. Now, I know fiber isn't the most glamorous topic, but think of it this way. Your gut is home to trillions of bacteria, and they need to eat too. And their favorite food? It's fiber. Specifically, the kind you get from vegetables, fruits, beans, oats, nuts, and whole grains. When you eat enough fiber, you're feeding the good bacteria, the ones that help reduce inflammation, strengthen your immune system, and keep things moving smoothly in the bathroom. But when your diet is low in fiber, those good bugs starve. And when they starve, your gut starts to weaken. You might feel more constipated, more bloated, and even more anxious or moody, because yes, your gut and brain are deeply connected. One simple way to get more fiber without changing your entire diet is to make one swap at each meal. Maybe you choose oatmeal instead of white toast in the morning, or add a handful of leafy greens to your sandwich at lunch, or toss some beans into your soup at dinner. These small changes add up quickly, and your gut will thank you. Another habit that's just as important is staying hydrated. And I'm not just talking about sipping water once in a while. After 60, our sense of thirst becomes less reliable. You might not feel thirsty, even when your body really needs water. And when you're not hydrated enough, your digestion slows down, your energy dips, and waste builds up in your system. That can lead to constipation, discomfort, and a gut that's struggling to do its job. So here's a gentle reminder. Aim to drink a glass of water with every meal and another between meals. If plain water doesn't appeal to you, try herbal teas, warm lemon water, or infuse your water with a slice of cucumber or orange. The goal is to keep things flowing, not just in your digestive tract, but throughout your body. I once spoke to a woman named Mai, 67 years old, who thought it was normal to go to the bathroom only a few times a week. She said she always felt heavy and tired, like she was carrying something she couldn't let go of. After she started drinking more water, just 2 extra glasses a day, everything began to shift. Her energy lifted, her sleep improved, and she told me she felt lighter in her body and her mind. That's the power of a simple habit done consistently. Now, let's talk about something many people overlook: chewing. Yes, chewing your food properly. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to rush through meals, but your gut needs your help at the very beginning of digestion. When you chew thoroughly, really taking the time to break down each bite, you make it so much easier for your stomach and intestines to do their job. Less bloating, better absorption of nutrients, and less strain on your gut. Try this the next time you eat. Put your fork down between bites. Count to 15 as you chew. Notice the texture, the flavor. Eating slowly isn't just good for your digestion. It helps you feel fuller, more satisfied, and more connected to your meals. And that connection? It's a small but powerful form of self-care. So much of good gut health comes down to small things done with care. It's not about following the latest fad or cutting out everything you love. It's about listening to your body, giving it what it truly needs, and trusting that with time, those little changes can add up to something big: more energy, less pain, and a longer, more vibrant life. We've only just begun. There are still more habits that can transform how your gut works and how you feel every single day. We've already seen how fiber, hydration, and simply chewing your food can go a long way in supporting your gut. But let's keep this going, because there are a few more habits that often fly under the radar, yet make a huge difference in how you feel, how your body functions, and ultimately, how long and how well you live. One of those habits might surprise you, because it has nothing to do with food and everything to do with your daily rhythm. I'm talking about movement. Gentle, regular movement is one of the best things you can do for your digestive system. You see, your gut is not just a passive tube where food slides through. It actually has muscles that need to stay active and strong to push food along. And just like any muscle, if you don't use it, it weakens. Think about the last time you took a walk, even just around the block. Do you remember how your stomach felt afterward? Maybe a little lighter, maybe less gassy? That's because walking, especially after meals, helps stimulate digestion. It encourages your intestines to keep things moving. It doesn't have to be intense. A slow stroll after breakfast or dinner, 10 to 15 minutes, is enough to wake up your gut and get it back on track. One gentleman I met at a local senior center shared how he used to deal with serious bloating every night. He thought it was just something that came with aging. But once he began walking each evening with his neighbor, just a simple walk to the park and back, he noticed the bloating eased up, his sleep improved. He even lost a few stubborn pounds, just from that one little change. Movement is powerful. It's not about exercise for the sake of fitness. It's about helping your body work better from the inside out. Now, let's talk about the emotional side of things. Because believe it or not, your gut listens to your feelings. In fact, your gut has its own nervous system. Some scientists even call it your second brain. That's why stress, worry, or sadness can mess with your stomach. Maybe you felt it before, nervousness turning into nausea or anxiety tightening your belly. That's no coincidence. Your emotions and your digestion are deeply connected. This is why one of the most healing things you can do for your gut is to calm your mind. It doesn't mean you have to sit cross-legged and meditate for an hour, but finding little pockets of peace in your day, those matter. Maybe it's a few deep breaths when you wake up. Maybe it's listening to soft music while you cook, or stepping outside to feel the breeze on your face. These moments send a message to your nervous system. You're safe. You can relax. And when your mind relaxes, your gut does too. Some people find journaling helpful, just jotting down how they feel, what they're grateful for, or what's been on their mind. Others enjoy gardening, knitting, or just sitting quietly with a cup of tea. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, just something that brings you back to yourself, even for a few minutes a day. And while we're on the subject of quiet moments, let's not forget sleep. Quality sleep is like medicine for your gut. During the night, your body gets to work repairing and restoring itself, including your digestive system. If you're not sleeping well, maybe waking up often or struggling to fall asleep, it can throw off your entire gut rhythm. That can lead to constipation, inflammation, or even changes in your appetite. One way to help your gut and your sleep is to avoid eating heavy meals late at night. Give your stomach a break by finishing dinner at least 2 or 3 hours before bed. And try to keep a regular sleep schedule, even on weekends. Your gut loves consistency. The more regular your meals, your movement, and your rest, the more smoothly it runs. So if you've been waking up tired or feeling off after meals, it might not be age catching up with you. It might just be your gut asking for a little more care. There's one more daily habit I want to mention, and it ties everything together: paying attention, not in a stressful or obsessive way, but in a gentle, curious way. Start noticing how you feel after certain meals. Pay attention to what gives you energy and what drains you. Notice how your gut responds when you slow down, when you walk more, when you sleep better. Our bodies are always speaking to us. And after 60, those messages become even more important. They're like gentle nudges saying, "Hey, let's take care of this part now, so we can enjoy the years ahead." You've lived through so much already. Your gut has carried you through decades of meals, celebrations, illnesses, and quiet dinners at home. It deserves to be nourished, to be supported, and to be heard. We've come a long way already, and yet there's still one final piece of this gut health puzzle. Something that brings everything into alignment and helps your gut thrive, not just today, but for the long run. So now we've talked about feeding your gut with fiber, staying hydrated, chewing slowly, adding movement, and creating calm. But there's one final piece of the puzzle that ties it all together, and it might be the most personal of them all. It's about connection. And I don't mean just social connection, though that's a big part of it. I mean connection to your body, to your habits, to your own well-being. The truth is, after 60, it's easy to feel like your body is working against you. Things creak, ache, or don't quite work like they used to. But what if, instead of feeling frustrated, we saw that as a signal, a reminder that now is the perfect time to reconnect? Let's start with the people around you. Believe it or not, your gut bacteria are influenced by your social life. Studies have found that loneliness and isolation can negatively affect your microbiome, the community of bacteria living in your digestive tract. On the flip side, having strong social bonds, even just a few close connections, can support a healthier gut. So whether to chat with a neighbor, a phone call with a friend, or even joining a local group or class, these connections matter. They're not just good for your heart or your mood. They're good for your body, all the way down to your gut. And in turn, a healthier gut helps you feel more balanced emotionally, less anxious, less down, more motivated to move, eat well, and enjoy life. One woman I met at a community event shared how, after her husband passed, she spent months barely eating, barely sleeping. Her stomach was a mess, and she couldn't figure out why. Eventually, her doctor gently told her, "Your grief is living in your gut." That moment changed everything. She started making small efforts, reaching out, eating meals with a friend once a week, walking together after dinner. It wasn't overnight, but her digestion improved. Her energy came back. That spark in her eyes returned. Your gut is more than a system. It's a reflection of how you're living. And every time you care for it, through food, movement, rest, or connection, you're sending a message to yourself. I still matter. I'm still growing. I still have joy to feel and life to live. Now, let's take a moment to reflect on everything we've covered, not in a checklist kind of way, but more like planting seeds. Maybe today you feel inspired to drink a little more water. Maybe tomorrow you go for a walk after lunch. Maybe you start chewing slower, or you add one extra veggie to your dinner plate. Maybe you write down something you're grateful for before bed. These small moments, they add up. You don't need to overhaul your entire life to make your gut healthier. In fact, the simpler the habit, the more likely it is to stick. The real key is consistency. Doing just one or two of these things each day creates momentum. And momentum builds vitality, not just in your gut, but in your whole life. So if you've been feeling a little off lately, tired, sluggish, moody, or uncomfortable, it's okay. It doesn't mean something's wrong with you. It might just mean your gut needs a little more support. And now, you know exactly how to give it. Let's be honest. Aging comes with challenges, but it also comes with wisdom. You've made it this far not by chance, but through resilience, strength, and showing up day after day. And the same way you've taken care of others, now it's your turn to take care of you. Started with something as humble, as powerful as your gut. You deserve to feel light, energized, and comfortable in your own body. You deserve mornings where you wake up clear-headed and refreshed. You deserve to sit down to a meal and feel nourished, not just full. You deserve health, peace, and a long life that feels good from the inside out. If any of these tips spoke to you, I'd love to hear about it in the comment below. Which one are you going to try first? And if you've already been doing some of these things, tell us how it's helped. Your story could be the encouragement someone else needs today. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a like. It really supports the channel. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you don't miss any future videos. We're building a space here that's all about health, joy, and living fully at every age. Here's to you, to your health, your happiness, and your journey ahead. Because the truth is, Every day is a new chance to feel better, move lighter, and live longer. And it all starts right here with your gut.